Well, let's get more now on those France elections that are forthcoming. Jacques Reland joins us live from France. He's a senior research fellow at the Global Policy Institute. France is facing a difficult period now with this clash of ideas, cultures and communities emerging. How will they go about marrying the two?
It's a very difficult time for people in France, especially some belonging to minorities, racial minorities or other countries. There's a climate of fear among people who don't feel 100% totally French, even though Bardella is himself, the grandson of immigrants. That's a ridiculous thing. France has always been a country of immigration since the 19th century, more than even Canada. We've always integrated people, and actually it's working quite well. We can see that actually immigration has been beneficial for France. But this national rally is putting all France's problems down to immigration. Yesterday there was a debate on French TV. It was ridiculous. Each time there was a problem, challenge, whether it was economic, equal rights for women and women, for anything, social welfare, everything, all the problems came from immigrants, according to the national rally. And all the financial problems of France stem from immigration, which complete lies. But the problem is that the discourse of the national rally has permeated to French society. We've seen that in the last couple of years, the number of people who think that there are too many immigrants in France has risen by 7 points. And the number of people who think that we're no longer at home in France has risen by 8% to 50% of the French. So it's the result of a campaign which has been going on, and the national rally is capitalizing on that, and is making people who are from a minority background feel very insecure, and they have good reasons to fear. We see that the incidents of xenophobia have increased in the last few years. We see Arab journalists on French television who have received 10 times more hate mails than before. And it is a big concern, and especially with the idea that if the national rally comes to power, they will suddenly have control of the police, and there the police will be able to do whatever they want. There will be no longer any need to prove legitimate defense. And we know very well, and it's already quite documented, that the attitude of the police towards the racial minority is, can be said, not that benevolent. That's the least we can say. And they have some other proposals. They've been trying, the National Front is like a wolf in sheep's clothing, trying, no, it's all right, we'll be okay, and so on. But we see the proposal they're making. They're proposing to ban headscarves in the street, which is absolutely ridiculous, and attacking some freedoms. So the fears of minorities is well-founded.
Of course, this isn't an issue that's just exclusive to France, though. It's a problem that lots of countries in Europe are grappling with now. But how will the government look to try and temper these concerns and try and temper maybe the proposals that the National Rally would put forward if they do well?
Yes, but they say that they are, obviously the government is saying that, they condemn all this discrimination and the open xenophobia. But some people argue that maybe, unfortunately, the government has legitimated some of the National Front discourse, especially when they passed a law at the beginning of the year on immigration, restricting immigration and asylum rights. They try, because they were concerned about, they know that it's a phenomenon which is prevalent in all of Western Europe, the fear of immigrants. But it's not by legitimizing the discourse of the most radical elements of the national rally that you will pacify the solution. So that's why it's so depressing for most of people in France to see that maybe as a result of Macron's decision at the time when the feelings are high in Europe and the National Rally is up in the polls. You can see in the European election when the dynamic is with them. And I can hear the discourse, very anti-immigrants, the fear of the big replacement, the fact that it is also being fanned by some TV stations, especially CNews in France, who reports any kind of crime committed by an immigrant as front news, while it's only a small, sometimes only a small matters. It creates fear in the people. It is managed fear. Many people are telling me, saying, and you can see in the interviews, oh yeah, there's no problem here. No, we have no violence. They link immigration and security. Oh, no, not here. But it will come. So that this fear has been instilled in the people. And you see, the areas with the most immigrants are the ones who vote the least for the National Front. In Paris, only 8.6% of people voted for the National Rally. In the town near me, where there are quite a lot of people of African descent, Arabs and so on, only 9% of people. But you see people living in the countryside who think that world, the idea of Zemmour, that the big replacement, that suddenly our civilization will disappear, that Christianity is under threat from Islam. Some people are beginning to believe it. And there are people who don't know at all, who have no idea, who don't live close to Arab communities and so on.
Sure.
So,
indeed. We hear you, Jacques Reland. We'll have to leave it there. We must move on. Thank you very much for joining us on the News Hour from the Global Policy Institute.
Okay, thank you.